my little princess. It's hard to talk about, guys. It really is. Even now, So this was Tuesday. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, this isn't going to be like a happy video. I felt like we kind of owed a explanation to our subscribers and viewers. We've been dark for a while again, and I'm a bit older than Cheryl and kind of expect health issues to pop up as you get older. I mean, you definitely don't get better. So anyway, guys, this week I really honestly feel like this has been my worst week of my life. Sorry, I gotta get my daily meds so I can continue on. I hope the volume's good. I'll try to speak up a little bit. But for those of you that follow the Brink family on Facebook or are friends with Cheryl or myself, you probably already know this, but I figured I would share it for everyone on the channel. Recently, our daughter Scarlett has been having some problems with an enlarged lymph node on her neck. It was very painful. She's been complaining about it, and so earlier this week I made an appointment to take her in and get it looked at. I've had a few lymph node issues myself recently, so we were thinking, maybe she has an infection. We don't see anything, no cuts or anything like that to really kind of focus on. No bruising, anything, just a really enlarged lymph node in her neck. And well, Cheryl's not fond of going to the doctor, so I drew the short straw and had to take Scarlett in to see the doctor. Our normal doctor wasn't available, so we took the first available, which was this new guy who happened to be Filipino. I didn't find that out till later. I thought he was just Hispanic. But so anyway, Tuesday morning, we get ready and take her into the doctor that afternoon, and Cheryl and CJ were over at the commissary shopping, waiting for us to come over and after the appointment. But the appointment took a lot longer than it was expected, guys. It totally wasn't what was expected, and I was completely floored. Well, we're in there in the doctor's office, and the doctor comes in, and I start to explain we're noticing, what the symptoms and issues are, and the doctor, he's like, seems overly interested. Didn't really evaluate Scarlett much. He did look at her neck and touch it, and then he was like, typically I don't complain about the military healthcare system. It's been all I've known most of my life, to be honest. I was on it before I was an adult. As a child, both my parents were in the military, so I had military healthcare. And then when I joined the military, me and all of my kids had military healthcare. And that's what Cheryl and I have had since we got married, with a few exceptions while they're in the Philippines. But so I don't know, this guy, he starts telling me like things that it could be that he doesn't know. He's like, you know, going through, just, typical infection stuff and normal things, no big deal. But then, like, just super casually, he's like, it could be cancer. Like, it just rolled off his tongue like it was nothing. And I'm like, hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was sitting there in the doctor's office, and it was just this big cloud of dread just falls on me. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, I can't tell Cheryl, she'll completely freak out and worry about everything. And so then the doctor said that I needed to take her over to the lab to get this blood work done so we can get some answers, right? And then we had to go to the pharmacy to get some medicine just in case it was an infection. We could do the medicine, and hopefully that would clear it up if it was an infection. So kind of dual treatment type thing. But I was still struggling with the cancer bit, guys. Scarlett's 3 years old. It's out of your hands. There's really nothing you can do about it, right? So, I carried her all the way to the lab. I didn't let her walk. I just wanted to hold on to her, My little princess. It's hard to talk about, guys. It really is. Even now, So this was Tuesday. We get the blood work done, and she was a trooper, We're there. The nurse said for me to hold her, so I sat down in the chair, and the nurse was like, asked Scarlett, hey, can I see your arm? I want to look for a vein. And she just sticks her arm right out. And the nurse was surprised by that because she's so young. She's like, wow, oh, there's one right there. And, she starts cleaning up her arm. And Scarlett, she doesn't really know what this entails. She's never drawn blood except for when she was a baby and doesn't remember that, So another guy on the other side, another nurse, he put some gloves on. It was an army guy, military guy. And he kind of quietly walks over and grabs onto the arm that they're going to stick. And the nurse said that she wanted me to make sure that her left arm, the other arm, didn't get in the way. So she was holding a stuffed teddy bear. So I kind of put the teddy bear up in her armpit because I didn't want to squeeze her. I didn't want to hurt her. So I just kind of wrenched the teddy bear into her armpit so she wouldn't be able to get her arm across because it's too short. And as soon as she's like, we need to wash your arm, washing it off. And Scarlett, no issues until she stuck her. And when she stuck her in the arm, she just started wailing, crying. She's trying to move, but it's a good thing she's 3. She can understand things, and the nurse told her, don't move, there's a needle in your arm. So it was like every appendage but the right arm, she's moving and flailing, kicking her shoes, the left arm on this side, and I'm trying to keep it wedged in there with the teddy bear so it doesn't hurt too much. And then they drew 2 vials of blood, and she's crying the whole time. And then when they take the needle out and put the little gauze on there and then wrap her arm, and then Scarlett's like looking at it like like she just got like a bullet wound or something. She told her brother CJ later, we were talking on the phone, she's like, my arm is hurt, and she's showing her arm to the phone, but it's just a phone call, guys. It wasn't no video, so CJ, he couldn't see anything. But So anyway, get the medicine. It takes forever. CJ's complaining that it took him too long for us to get over there, and then we get there, and here I am thinking, well, I'm not gonna tell the Cheryl this. We'll wait for the blood work. Lo and behold, the whole time that we've been at the doctor's office, she's been, Google MDing all the possible things that could cause the enlarged lymph node, and she came along Hodgkin's, which is a form of cancer, and she was telling me that, what did we find out? What did they do? And then she said that some of the things that, like infections and stuff like that. And then she's like, and then there's a really scary one. She said lymphoma. And, well, actually, no, I think she said cancer. And then I said, yeah, it's a form of lymphoma, Hodgkin's. And so I kind of acquiesced that, since she already knew about it, there was no point trying to keep it from her. Maybe she would just worry about it without telling me. So it was kind of good that we were having that dialogue, because sometimes if it's bad, we don't talk about it. She just quiet. It's not really Tampa, but it's just she's not comfortable to talk about it, so she just keeps it inside. So anyway, guys, the next day I went to work, and I got off work, and I'm heading home, and we got all these plans to go on, and then I get a phone call from the clinic, and I answer, and it's the nurse for the doctor, and the nurse is like, hey, the results for your blood work came back, and the doctor really needs to talk to you. Let's set up an appointment. And I'm like, she's like, do you want to do face-to-face or over the telephone? So I said, over the telephone. I figure, you can call me faster than I can come in and be seen. This is like maybe 11:30, and then so she's like, oh, let's make the appointment for tomorrow, 11:40 in the afternoon, or morning, I guess, 11:40 a.m. And I was driving home, guys. Literally, I had to stop. In all my years, all the blood work I've done and all the blood work I've had done with all my other kids, they never call you unless there's something wrong. And I'm thinking to myself, of course, I'm just spiraling down. He said cancer. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. What are we going to do? So, I tried to get myself together. I was crying. I couldn't really drive, but I was kind of stuck in the middle of H1 freeway. There wasn't really anywhere else to go. I needed to get home and let Cheryl know that they had called. So anyway, guys, I have no idea why they made us wait. I don't want to make it about me. I don't know why they made us wait till the next day. And, the whole time, Cheryl and I, 24 hours of just sheer dread, thinking the worst, negative spiral, this is going to happen and everything, and just going crazy. Just couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I got home, and I'm just staring at Scarlett. I'm just looking at her. She doesn't look, she looks normal. There's nothing wrong with her if you look at her. I mean, sure, she had that bump on her neck, but was it that serious? Really? Just thinking about it now makes me, it's hard, guys. Thinking to myself, why couldn't it be me? You give it to me, I'm okay. I've been around a long time. and then got home and talked to Cheryl about it, and we were both just crazy sick about it. Like, they don't call unless there's a problem, right? That's always been what it is. If they tell you when they do the lab, if something's not right, they'll call you. But if you don't get called, it's normal. So clearly it wasn't normal, right? So anyway, I go into work the next morning, and I'm just a basket case. One of my coworkers comes over and talks to me, and I lose it. It's my little girl. What am I gonna do? But I need to tell my boss, hey, this is going to be my number one priority until we get some kind of clarification of what's going on here. And meanwhile, to this point, Scarlett wouldn't take the medicine. She's not big on medicine. So I'm waiting, and I tell my boss, and he's like, hey, whatever you got to do, don't, just let us know, update, whatever. And he's like, you got 4 more hours, and then you got your call. So 11:40 couldn't get there soon enough, guys, and apologize for the long video, but I just wanted to give you guys from the beginning to where we're at now. So I left work early, because I really couldn't wait anymore. I just needed to know. And sure enough, I get to the car, and the doctors, I got 3 missed calls. The doctor's been calling me early. I was 10 minutes early. It was supposed to be 11:40. He started calling me at like 11:25. So now I'm even more worried. I'm like, oh no. And then he left a message, gave me his direct line, and I'm trying to call, no answer. The nurse doesn't pick up, nobody, and I'm trying to get back, and I'm like, this is insane. Why? Could it go any worse? So then I call and finally get through to the doctor, and the doctor starts explaining to me what her blood work is, and he starts off with she's anemic, she needs to get more red meats, more vitamins if she doesn't eat meat, which I explained to him that she needs to, we need to consider a multivitamin that'll boost her iron. Yeah, okay, that's great. I just went through 24 hours of hell for she's anemic. So, and then he mentions something else that's kind of off with her numbers. Sorry, I don't remember what it was. Something really like super medical, technical, crazy word. And then it's just, that's really it. And I'm frustrated. I'm like, dude, you told me my daughter might have cancer. So, I kind of stopped him with just rambling about nothing. And I was like, so does this like rule out cancer or anything, since they didn't find any sign of infection or anything like that? And, I just nonchalantly, he's like, oh no, it's really, the tests were inconclusive. We won't know anything until she goes to the ENT clinic, specialty care. So he said he was going to give me a referral to the ENT clinic. So that's what I came home with and told Cheryl, which, rightfully so. It wasn't enough. What kind of an answer is that? That's BS. That's what it was. We went through that whole time, 24 hours of sheer just terror about what's going on and why they couldn't tell us that when they called and told me to make the appointment. At least, give me the results. I can talk to the doctor later if he's not available, or don't even bother calling me until the doctor's available, right? It was unnecessary. didn't have to go that way. It was too much, you know? So that was Thursday. And so I took Friday off. I didn't bother going to work. And I didn't even call in. I was just, I mean, I told him Thursday before I went to the call. I told my boss, I was like, you know, depending on what the outcome of the call was, I would be in at work or not be at work. And so I kind of figured my bases were covered there. I didn't really need to call. I did try to call, but he wasn't in yet. He didn't answer. Hey, you know, they got their thing going. So do I. So so then I called to make the appointment for this ENT clinic because I need answers. I need to know if my little girl's sick. If she's sick, how sick she is, right? So I call, I wait on the phone for like over an hour. Like I called and they said, you're number 137 in the queue. So I told them to call me back. And I'm just sitting there waiting for my phone to ring. And the phone rings and it's the appointment line. And the appointment line's like, oh, okay. I give them all my information. I tell them I need to make an appointment for my daughter, my 3-year-old, for the ENT clinic. And we go all through all this thing. And then she's like, oh, I see your reservation or your referral. Everything is good. And then when we go to make the appointment, she's like, oh, your doctor put this in as head and neck. So I can't make the appointments. They restrict those. I'm like, what? So then she tells me that, oh, she has to send a text message to this head and neck section of the ENT clinic because they don't answer their phones since the pandemic. Why they have government-provided phones and they don't answer the phones is beyond me. So once I get this cleared up, there's going to be a tornado going through the military medical hospital here, and it's going to be this guy right here. Because if you got a phone being paid for you, you better pick up the damn phone. That's my perspective. That's how I feel about it. I don't care if nobody agrees with me or not, but somebody's going to hear my piece of my mind about it. Because if that's the case, if you're not going to answer phones, you're only going to do a text. Don't have a phone. Why do we have to pay for it? Turn the shit in. You don't need it. So then this lady's struggling to do this text message. She can't even submit it. She doesn't even know how to do it. And she's blaming it on this new computer program they have, and she's, it won't take it. It won't let me do it. It won't. And I asked the lady, I was like, so where's this clinic at? I was going to get in a car and drive up to the hospital and just make the appointment face to face. And anyway, after about 20 minutes, and here's the thing, guys. This call was being recorded, and this lady is literally telling me, she's like, oh, I don't want to say this because, you know, it'll be on the recording. It'll make her look bad that she doesn't know how to do her job. And that's what her focus was. The focus wasn't on helping me and making sure that our family was feeling taken care of or whatnot. Really poor assistance, you know. Anyway, so she finally gets it in. She's submitted. She's like, oh, well, they'll call you back. So here it is Sunday, guys. That was Friday morning. No calls, nothing. So tomorrow, because they're closed over the weekend, tomorrow I'll be going up there, and I guess I'm going to have to get my army boots back out and put them back on my feet. And I'm going to go stand on somebody's freaking desk. And we're going to get some answers. You know. It's been a long time as a senior NCO in the Army, and I'm going to dust those boots off and put them in somebody's ass. Get this straightened out. I've been through a lot, guys, and this is just something that it's so hard to deal with. And I know it's been a long video. For all our Filipino viewers out there, probably nosebleed for days, but thanks for listening. I really kind of needed to get it off my chest. I needed to talk to somebody about it, and you guys have kind of become an extended part of our family. So we'll keep you guys updated, and if you're out there and you do, pray for us. Pray for Scarlett. Bye, guys. Like, subscribe, share. Let us know if you got any comments or concerns. Put them in the comment section, and I'll try to muster up the strength to answer them, okay?